Welcome to today's market report. European stock markets edged higher on Wednesday, helped by positive corporate earnings, particularly in the banking sector, ahead of the conclusion of the latest Federal Reserve meeting. DAX in Germany traded 0.5% higher, CAC 40 rose 0.4%, FTSE 100 climbed 0.4%. A number of blue-chip European companies released quarterly earnings on Wednesday, with the results being generally positive. Deutsche Bank stock soared over 6% after the German banking institution posted its best quarterly profit since the first quarter of 2014, as strength at the investment bank helped offset the headwinds of an ongoing restructuring program and the coronavirus pandemic. Lloyds stock climbed 4%, and the UK bank also reported a strong quarterly result with profit after tax of £1.4 billion, supported by the release of expected credit loss provisions, given the improved economic outlook. Santander stock fell 0.2%, suffering from profit taking after earlier climbing to a 52-week high, after the Spanish bank said its net profit in the first quarter jumped almost 5 times, as it didn't book COVID-19 related provisions like a year ago, and its US unit posted a solid performance. Away from the banking sector, Dassault Systemes stock rose 0.6% to an all-time high after the French software company posted a rise in both operating profit and revenue in the first quarter. Sanofi stock rose 1.5% after the French drugmaker posted stronger than expected first quarter results, helped by sales of its star eczema treatment. In the UK, London Stock Exchange stock rose 1.1% after the group reported a 3.9% rise in the total income in the first quarter, as it continued to integrate its $27 billion acquisition of data and analytics company Refinitiv. The Federal Reserve wraps up its two-day policy meeting later on Wednesday, but is not expected to make any changes to its ultra-easy monetary policies, despite a steady run of good economic news in the recent month. Germany's GfK survey of consumer sentiment disappointed, falling to -8.8 in May from a -6.1 the previous month, reflecting the new nationwide regime of restrictions to contain the pandemic. Oil prices edged higher on Wednesday as traders digested the competing influences of the OPEC Plus, deciding to proceed with plans to move forward with gradual output increase and a rise in US crude stockpiles. US crude futures traded 0.3% higher at $63.12 per barrel. Brent contract rose 0.2% to $66.03 per barrel. Gold futures fell 0.6% to $1,768.40 per ounce. On the FX front, the GBP-USD pair remained depressed heading into the European session and was last seen hovering near daily lows around the 138.70 region. Having struggled to find acceptance above the 139 mark, the pair witnessed a modest pullback on Wednesday and for now seems to have snapped 3 consecutive days of winning streak. The US dollar moved higher in tandem with the overnight strong pickup in the US Treasury bond yields and recovered from further multi-week lows touched earlier this week. This in turn was seen as a key factor that promoted some selling through the GBP-USD pair. As the two-day FOMC meeting got underway on Tuesday, upbeat US economic data pushed the yield on the benchmark 10-year US government bond back above the 160% threshold. The Conference Board's US Consumer Confidence Index jumped to pre-pandemic highs and rose to 121.7 in April from the 109 previous. The US dollar uptick could further be attributed to some repositioning trade ahead of the key event risk, the latest FOMC monetary policy decision. The US Central Bank is widely expected to keep its monetary policy settings unchanged. That said, rising inflation expectations might force the Fed to start laying the groundwork for a further policy tightening. Hence, the key focus will be on the accompanying monetary policy statement The UK vaccine minister confirmed on Tuesday that 25% of all adults have now been fully vaccinated, while fell to the lowest level since September. This bodes well with the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's plan for the gradual reopening of the economy. Euro-dollar has been drifting lower as the dollar gains ahead of the Federal Reserve's decision. Euro is well positioned for the Fed as better prospects for the old continent make it a contender to gain significant ground. Euro-dollar continues benefiting from upside momentum on the 4-hour chart and is holding above the 50, 100 and 20 simple moving averages. The relative strength index is balanced, far from overbought conditions, whilst the dollar index was at 91.05. This is today's market news. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.